Now, for a long time, I was not interested in my children having phones. But what changed? What changed in my mind? What has been the impact of the phone since my children got the phone? How have I gone about the use of phones in our home?
Well, my mom had said that if we did well in the USF Gala, then she'd get us phones. So...
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther Katende Magezi. I'm a lawyer by profession, but my biggest passion is to ensure that the children that are raised by our generation turn out to be world changers, history makers, and that they achieve their God-given purpose on this earth. Today I'm talking about phones. Should I give my child a phone? That's our discussion today. This discussion also arose still from comments that I received on the topics people wanted me to talk about. So here we are. Now, for a long time, I was not interested in my children having phones. I was very adamant and so against my children using phones. I always thought that it's not right. My sister kept insisting that, you know what, they'll benefit from these phones. Give them the phones. And she kept encouraging me and showing me the benefits of phones. But I was like, no, I'm not giving my children phones. Why was I against these phone things? First of all, I had fear of external, uncontrolled influence. I was like, no, my children will be out there, people will be reaching them, talking to them without my knowledge. No, they will spoil my children. My children get exposed to wrong characters. No, I was not keen on that. Number two, I was afraid of child abuse. That I, of course, was hearing that there's a lot of child abuse on phones, on Facebook. Children on Instagram, children are abused by their friends. There's bullying, cyberbullying. So I was afraid of exposing my children to that kind of abuse from the public. And then, of course, I was afraid that they'll get topics, they'll be exposed to topics like pornography, you know, wrong content, basically. I was afraid of the wrong content that would come their way. And I was afraid that there would be a lot of screen time, that the children will be on the phone for so long. I didn't want them to have that much screen time, and I was afraid the phone is going to achieve that. I thought that they would get addicted to the phones, that you see so many adults are addicted, how much more the children. So I always told myself, no, children will not be involved with phones. But what changed? What changed in my mind? Like I told you, my sister had been encouraging me, you know, that children need to have phones. It's important, you know. So this is what made me change. First of all, I realized that, and my sister, of course, was persuading me as such, that you see, you're raising these children for their time, for their generation. Their generation is a tech-savvy generation. There's a lot of technology that they are learning and they're exposed to, and the phone is just one of them. That was one of the things that made me change my mind. That you're raising children for their time, not for your time. Number two, I realized the Bible says, raise up a child in the way they should go, and when they grow, they will not depart from it. So if I'm to raise children that are going to use technology and phones in their time, I better raise them up with that technology. I better expose it to them and teach them and help them to learn how to use it effectively while they're still in my nest, while I can still monitor and guide them on how to use it effectively. Another reason is that I saw my brother's son. He was very knowledgeable on so many things that are outside his age range, things that are outside school knowledge, but he was very knowledgeable. He had been given a phone much earlier, and I realized that he had benefited greatly from this phone because he had gotten so knowledgeable on world politics, on world matters, on any subject. He was quite knowledgeable. And I thought that the YouTube channels he was watching on the phone are some of the things that helped him gain this knowledge. I wanted them to remain in touch with their friends. It's important that our children grow relationships while they're still young. Genuine relationships, because at this point they don't have anything, so they are able to create two friends. I thought therefore that the phone would help them keep the relationships, especially during this COVID time. During the lockdown, you realize that for us, the parents could talk to our friends while we are locked down and could even go out, but the children have been locked down for a very long time. Now they need relationships as well. They need friends, they need peers, they need breathers that are outside your immediate family. And I thought that the phone would help them reach their friends, talk to their friends, communicate, and keep their friendships alive.
When I was 9, and I think it was March, my mom had said that if we did well in the USF Gala, I think that's right, USF Gala, then she'd get us phones. So we did well, and then my mom gave us a phone. And I think it was a good decision because we learned how to be responsible.
I got my phone when I was 11. I think it was a good decision because when I was 11 I was responsible already, so I didn't need to learn how to be responsible, and also because it helped me like learn other things. Like I think that if I didn't get the phone, I wouldn't have learned things that I know right now. Like how to do my own hair, how to lay my bed well, how to decorate my room, all those things.
So what has been the impact of the phone since my children got the phone? I gave my daughter's phones at 12 and 11 years and my son at 8 years. It was controversial, but this has been the impact of these phones on my children. Number one, of course, they've been exposed to so much positive knowledge. My children have become more knowledgeable than they have ever been. I mean, they surprise my husband and I so many times. They know different topics, different issues on anything. Basically, their knowledge base has grown and sort of their thinking has been improved substantially, you know, because I think they have been exposed more. They watch a lot of YouTube channels on different topics, on hair, on cleaning homes, on doing so many different things, and that has exposed their knowledge base. So many times we don't have a solution and they come up with a solution to something because they saw it somewhere else on a YouTube channel. Another benefit has been that they have brilliant ideas. You know, sometimes we as parents think that we know it all, but my dear, when my children got exposed to phones over time because of what they are watching, they have been able to have brilliant ideas. Wherever they get them, the channels they watch, the things they're involved in, that has given them brilliance of a different level than what we were exposing them to. They have learned how to find information from themselves. You know, the basic goal of school is to be able to teach children how to gain knowledge, how to find knowledge, and giving them phones has taught them how to find knowledge for themselves. They want a solution to something they don't know, they check it up, they read it up. Even their schoolwork, things are not explained well, they find the information online. The reason they go to school is to learn how to find information. So the phones have helped them learn how to find that information. The phone has increased their creativity because phones are used to do reading up, researching. They're not mainly used to call friends because they meet their friends at school. I've seen them mainly use them to watch YouTube channels, to read up what they don't know, you know, Google something up. And that has made them more creative because things you're trying to do here, they've been able to see them on Pinterest. They've been able to see them on another channel, how it works elsewhere in the world. So that has increased their creativity. And then they've been able to enjoy watching things that are of interest to them. For example, I'm not interested in football at all, but my children watch those football channels. You know, Christabel and Jonathan, they love the football channels. They love the video game channels. I don't even know what games they are, but they know who's done what. Basically, it has helped them enjoy life by watching what they want to watch. Because you find that TV is not extensive in what is available for watching. But on their phones, they are able to watch whatever it is that they would like to watch. So, how have I gone about the use of phones in our home? Because you see, of course, there is a danger of overexposure, I agree. And there's a danger of possibility of addiction on phones, I agree. You know, we've had rules of use of phones. We've not just been having the phones there for, no. We've had rules. So what rules have we used? Or what have we done to moderate or to monitor use of phones? For starters, the children use phones, but they are not on the phone 24/7, no. They only use the phone at the end of the school day when they finish schoolwork. The necessary housework has been done. If they're supposed to shower, they finish showering. And the last minutes of the day, the last hour or half hour before bedtime, that's when they use the phone. That's number one. So they're not on the phone all day, but they still have at least a phone to use. But it's controlled. My father and I taught them the rules of engagement. In other words, we taught them no posting nudes, no posting personal pictures of themselves without approval. Always be mindful of your background when you're taking pictures. And then be mindful of the messages you're sending, because the other side, their parents are going to read those messages and we are going to read those messages. So be cautious about what you're communicating. And then also, the use of the phone is conditional. So we made them sign what we call the phone contract. I got a phone contract off Pinterest. And we made them sign a contract that established that it belongs to mommy and daddy. They're supposed to maintain their grades high if they're to keep the phone. They are supposed to follow so many of the rules I've talked about. No nudities, approval before sending, pictures. All those rules are formed in the phone contract. So you can find a copy on Pinterest. The phone contract has been put on their wardrobe so that they can see it exists, yes, and it is signed by Daddy and I and witnessed by someone else, so that we are clear that if you don't follow the rules of using the phone, we take the phone away. Rules like, when we are eating, phones off. We are in the car, phones off. There's no need why we should not talk in the car because you're on your phone. Small, simple rules, but all those rules are prescribed in the contract. The other rules are also conditional on behavior. You misbehave, sanctions include taking away the phone. So it has helped them stay in line because they want to use their phone. It has helped them keep their grades up. It has helped them, it has helped govern their modus operandi because they know that if things go out of hand, the phone will be taken and they want to use it. We have controlled access to the internet. You only use the internet after seeking mommy or daddy's permission to put it on. So whereas we have 24-hour possibility of internet, we switch the internet off so that we control usage. It's not going to be available all the time. Then also control phone time. It's not all the time that is phone time, no. Like I've said, after certain things have been achieved, then you can use your phone. You're not going to sit on the phone all day in bed, no. The use of the phone is controlled by the time the phone has to be on, when all the things that should be done are finished. And then we also restricted the applications they're able to use. For example, they're not on Facebook, they're not on Twitter. We allowed them to use WhatsApp because we also send them videos, we send them things we've seen that are beneficial to them. We allow them to use Instagram because even as we're on Instagram, and I send them things that I see are interesting. So they use TikTok, but they're not supposed to post their TikTok videos for the world to see without approval. They use YouTube, they use Pinterest. So basically, there are applications that they don't use and the applications that they use. For a long time, they were not on Snapchat, but eventually they were able to persuade us that they will use it responsibly. So we allowed them to use Snapchat. In other words, there's restriction of apps used on the phone. So the phone is not just there that, oh, I've given my child the phone, too bad, they leave. No. We are watching them, we are monitoring them, and we are teaching them how to use the phone while they're still in our nest. Because guess what? There's no one out there to teach them. We don't want them to leave our home and go out there, and then they're grappling with what are the rules or what is responsible to post, what's not responsible to post on the phone. No, let them learn that while they're in our care. We correct them while they're in our care. They make a mistake, we correct them so that they learn how to do it while we're there. Phones are not evil. Like the Bible says, the love of money is the root of evil. But money is not evil. In the same way, phones are not evil. It is the addiction and the love of phones that is not right. So what do? You give them the phone, but you monitor it. You monitor their usage. You control their usage. You limit them so that they're able to benefit what they need to benefit from the phone while at the same time you're still controlling the challenges they're likely to face by overusing the phone. And then remember when we were young and Channel O came on. I don't know if you know when the Channel O started on TV. Parents were afraid, oh my God, children are going to get spoiled with this Channel O music. Not many children did. Then when the internet came, the parents are like, oh my God, this internet, it's an animal, it's going to consume our children and our generation. It did not. Even radio. At the first time the radios came, Radio Sanyu Capital, it was wild. But did people get spoiled? Did people get abused? No. In other words, when development and technology change, make sure you change with it and let your children also benefit, but control them, monitor them, put rules. Because you see what is happening. There's families that I know, for example, where they refuse the children to use phones, but the son gives the maid 2,000 shillings every day to use her phone. So what have you protected, In other words, the children are manipulating the system or finding ways of getting the system done, and they're able to use the phone. So the parents are there knowing that, oh, my children are not exposed to the phone, but my dear, they are conniving with your maids or people in their house and they're using the phone. Wrong people are reaching them through the phone. Yet when you know that this is their real phone, you can check the phone logs, you can check, there are even apps that allow you to trail content used on the phone. I don't use them personally, but my friends do. They track their children's WhatsApp messages, their phone calls, and they're able to trail what is happening on their laptops. So there are so many different ways of controlling usage. So In other words, allow the children to use the phone, monitor its control, you know, so that you end up benefiting from the benefits of the phone without at the same time, allowing the children to be abused in the process. My children actually did a YouTube channel with their friends where they talked about this aspect of the phone, the impact of the phone on themselves. So please check it out. I'll put the link of that video in my description. But check it out and see their opinions. It was a balanced opinion. Some were saying it has been a problem. Others were saying it's a good thing that they got a phone at the age at which they got it. So please check it out and listen to what their teens are saying. Thank you very much for listening to me. Please remember to subscribe and to turn on those notifications so that if I upload a new video, you're able to find out about the upload. Have a good day. May God bless you. Goodbye.